Hey guys, this is Tim Gowans, and thank you so much for joining. Today we are listening to the voice of the local business, where we interview local business folks who are in the area, in the metro Atlanta area and across the country. So today we have with us Mr. Jay and Mr. Connor, and I would love for them to introduce themselves to you guys. Tell us who you are and where you're from and the name of your company.
Fantastic. I'll start out. My name is Jay Maurice. I am the founder of Lessons in Your Home, which is a music school that administers private music lessons to students here in Atlanta, Georgia, and also all throughout the country. Started in 1997.
My name is Connor Douglas, and I'm from Ackworth, and I am the Atlanta director here. So I run our Atlanta Music School.
Great. And tell me, guys, where are you from? Where did you come up at? Where's your main hometown?
My main hometown is actually Orlando, Florida. I grew up in Orlando. I think when you say home, it's
Hometown.
where you grew up. So, from 5 to 21, I lived in Orlando, northern suburb, Altamont Springs, and that's my hometown.
I gotcha.
I've been here in Atlanta since 1997.
So is that when you moved from? Did you move from?
Well,
there?
I had a stint in New Orleans, studied music at Loyola University in New Orleans, so I lived in New Orleans for 4 years, and I actually moved here in 1996, excuse me.
1996. How about
Right
you,
before
Connor?
the Olympics.
Yeah. How about you, Connor? Tell us where you were.
I was born
and
here
raised.
in 95, well, in Marietta technically, but I've lived in Ackworth and a couple local towns, but mainly Ackworth.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I know we know each other from our church, which is North Star Church. Your parents, I know your parents quite well. They
still
Pete
go
and
there.
Amanda Douglas. They still go there. Connor is a drummer, right?
I
And
am.
Jay, you're a piano player, correct?
Pianist, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tell us the name of your business. We're excited to hear about Lessons in Your Home. Tell us the name of it.
Go for it, Connor.
Lessons in Your Home.
Yeah, so
Tell
we're
us all about it.
we're Lessons in Your Home. So we teach in-home music lessons.
Okay.
We're a music school without walls. So don't have a studio. We have a staff of teachers nationwide who subcontract with us and teach music lessons
Fantastic.
in-home. We teach virtually, but mainly in-home as well.
And Jay, how many teachers would you say you have in your network?
Across the country, we have about 500 music teachers that work for us each and every week.
Wow.
And we teach almost 5,000 music lessons each and every week, too.
That's
around the
crazy.
country. We do this through 9 major metro areas throughout the United States. Connor is one of the reasons we're very successful here in Atlanta. He is an owner of our company. We have owner managers in each one of these regions, and he runs our show here.
Okay, great, Connor. That's great. It's a fantastic opportunity being a musician and being, being a young man trying to make his way in the world. That's really wonderful. One of the things that I love most about America is the fact that I heard a statistic that 70% of the workforce in the United States is employed by local businesses, local smaller businesses. And so that's how I came up with the voice of the local business, is to give some people an opportunity to talk to their customers, but talk about the why you're in business. And I'd love to hear some of your principles, Jay. You being the founder,
Absolutely.
I'd love to hear some of your principles about how you operate, what's important to you, what's important for you to communicate to your customer.
Absolutely. So we have a really sincere why. And the reason we do what we do is to have the opportunity to be a part of someone's life that's actually bigger than the music we teach. So connection and being involved with students and families in our community is our goal. It's our, it's what we aim to do. It's our core value. And so we believe that that is the most important part of music lessons, which seems funny because it's not really teaching somebody to play. I mean, it's important to us, but that's not our main goal. It's not getting a young person into college, which could be a goal of ours as well, or really just teaching somebody the confidence that comes from learning music lessons, which I think is why most parents sign their kids up to take lessons. But for us, it's that relationship that we get to have with the student and with the family, and be the representative of what a musician is, and get to share that with somebody. That's our why.
That's great. That's really great. So I know as we've talked, you and I have had some conversations about some of the business principles that everyone operates under, and one of them is liability. And one of them is a key component to when you have a business. You have to be concerned about liability, and the first thing that pops into my mind is, okay, you're sending these folks into people's home. Liability can really go both ways too. You could go into a home situation where there's a crazy person, you know. And then, you know, of course, there's children. I think the majority, Connor, of the folks that you guys said that they're at what age?
Beginner level students between the ages of 5 and 12.
5 and 12. So talk about that for a minute, guys. Tell us about how you protect yourself and how you protect your contractors as well.
Starting from the outside in, I think the outside is we take all the legal ramifications and protections. Every one of our teachers has is background checked. Every one of our teachers has their references, we follow through on references and qualifications. Then they go through training and they're orientated. So there's lots of obstacles before you come in contact with someone who chooses to take lessons in your home. There are lots of obstacles there. And when teachers start with us too, it's a very slow growth. They don't come in and teach full time, and we don't have a list of people that are just taking lessons. So we're full. We schedule lessons as people call with teachers. But when a new teacher comes on, there's a real growth process there. And so there's also a direct interaction with Connor, specifically if we're talking about here in Atlanta. Connor is meeting our people. So we're not a referral service at all. We're a school of music, Connor said, without walls. I love that, Connor. Good job. We're a school of music without walls. We just don't, we're the same place that you would go to take a music lesson without walls. And I think what's really interesting, Tim, is that when we're in your home, we're in your living room.
Yes.
We're in the family room. We're at the room beside the kitchen. The dog's with us. The cat's with us. The siblings are around, aunts, uncles, grandparents, who's ever in the home. We don't teach it in homes where there's not an adult present. And we don't teach in rooms. You know, we teach in open areas. So in a way, if you take lessons at a music store or a music school, you walk down a hallway, you go to a room, you close a door. There's no closed doors at lessons in your home.
That's really, really a great way to protect. How about from the client to the teacher? Is there any kind of principles there? Maybe, how do you protect your teachers going into an environment where there may be somebody that's
that is
less than desirable?
That's a great question. I'm laughing because I really wish, I'm almost crying because I really wish we could give our teachers more protection.
Yeah.
Now, knock on wood, we haven't had any kind of a situation where we've put our teachers in an uncomfortable place. And if our teacher comes to Connor and says, I'm uncomfortable, for any reason, we just take them out of there. Like, even if it jeopardizes our relationship with that family, because our teachers are our family too. So if you're uncomfortable, you shouldn't be doing what you are doing, and we don't want anybody to be uncomfortable. But when we're acquiring a client, the last thing we could do is say, well, give me your background check, give me your credentials. We
right.
can't give them a list of hoops to jump through to take lessons with us. So we do get that from time to time. But the same protection that the student has is the same protection we have. We're not going into a closed door. We're not going into a closed space. We wouldn't walk in there in a position to be,
Right.
in danger.
So tell the folks that your clients, what are the primary instruments that you guys teach? What are some of the instruments that you have to teach?
Yeah.
How would you teach drums, by the way? And I mean, the client would have to have drums in their home,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah. So everyone has to have the instrument of the
Okay.
lesson they're signing up for
I
first
gotcha.
and foremost. But yeah, the bulk of our students are piano students, so piano would be the most popular one.
Okay.
What would you say next, Jay? Guitar, violin?
Piano, violin,
Yeah.
voice, guitar, and drums are our top 5, just by category and just because we know that, as a business percentage-wise. But we teach all the band instruments, all the orchestra instruments, and drums. And Connor mentioned that you have to have an instrument. And if there's any potential music students listening out there, entry-level instruments are not hard to come by.
Yeah.
I think when I was a kid, it was much harder to come by an instrument than it is today. A nice quality beginner drum set, for example, you can pick up for $450.
Wow. Okay.
And I think that's a kit that can last the student for a few years.
Absolutely, yeah.
So if you're going to invest in lessons, that's not a lot of investment in the instrument. And then pianos, we have digital keyboards which play and feel like a regular piano, which serve the need, and we can help give parents a resource and directions to get into those instruments.
So Connor, tell us, if you will, Connor, about how, what style or what approach are you guys taking with your clients? Are you teaching them traditional music? Are you teaching them the traditional music? What if a student wants to learn a non-traditional path?
Sure.
Do y'all have that available?
That's a great question. We focus on covering elements of music theory, technique, and performance in each lesson. So we structure our lessons in a way where we're covering a lot of ground, even in the span of a 30-minute lesson. We do anchor to method books just to have some structure and consistency in offering, all the things that make up what we call a good music lesson.
Right.
So I would say it's probably more of a traditional route. There are people who inquire and ask about very specific things, and I think that's the beautiful part of all of our teachers having unique backgrounds, is we can kind of keep an eye out, and if there's one instructor over the other who has a background that's maybe more akin to what someone is looking for specifically, we can almost always accommodate.
I gotcha.
But in general, most people are looking for, they're starting at the beginning, right? So,
Right.
It's more of a
Like, for
traditional
example, I know tablature's real big in the
Sure,
guitar side.
yeah.
So, that's how I learned. I learned how to do a lot of the pieces that I learned how to play was on tablature. So is that something that can be taught as well? Is
Yeah.
there tablature for piano, and is there tablature for, do you
I
know?
don't think there's tablature
Not
for
really
piano
a tablature
yet.
for
No.
piano. There's something called the piano roll, but not really tablature.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
I got you.
people will call and ask, like, say, mainly like adults, like, hey, I kind of want to cut to the chase. I'm trying to learn tabs, and we'll
Yes,
accommodate.
right.
If it's a beginner, we're the experts, so I would recommend, not taking a shortcut, learning to read music as well, because that's going to create a more well-rounded musician in the long run.
So what if there is a band that wants to learn how to be a better band? Or what if there is a group of guys that wanted to sharpen their band, be a better band? Do you guys teach? Is that something that you could do? How would you handle something like that?
I would say it's not something that's in our wheelhouse.
Okay.
So we can do it. And so when you contact Connor for lessons, he's going to listen and learn about what you're looking for. And in that case, I know that we probably have a few people on staff who could do something like that. But I wouldn't say it's something we specialize in. I wouldn't say it's something we outwardly project that we want to do. Lessons with our company, to learn about our company, learn about our school, are long-term lessons, meaning that we have a long-term path, a plan to teach someone how to play a musical instrument. So when you talk about working with a band, I think you're talking about coaching. And coaching can kind of be a long-term thing, but it could also be a short-term thing. And so we have all our work is based on long-term approaches. These are the teachers that we're bringing onto our staff. So we're not looking for people to come in who specialize in working with a band, because it's not really our wheelhouse. It's not what we do. We look for people who come in who have a method to teach students over a long period of time. And Connor mentioned those method books, which is basically a proven path to success. Tablature is included in that. We, at the end of the day, the goal is to be able to play something, not to be able to read something or how you learned it. Right. Miles Davis, right. Famous jazz trumpeter, if it sounds right, it's right. That's right. What Miles said.
That's right. That's right. Well, in closing, guys, I wanted to thank you again for being with us today. Is there anything else you'd like to say to your customers that's important? Do you have a website, a phone number, best place to contact you? Can you share some of that information with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So my assumption is maybe we'll have the info linked below.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in music lessons, we have an Atlanta phone number. It's 770-439-3579. You'd be speaking with me. Give us a call. We'll get you taken care of, whatever you're looking for, and excited to connect.
And can you share with us the website?
Yeah.
Lessonsinyourhome.net. That's lessons is plural. LESSONS inyourhome.net. And if you Google Lessons in Your Home, you're going to find us. And you could read about all of our teachers online, which I think is a fantastic resource. We do not hide who our staff is. You can sort by instrument, and you could read about them. You'd see Connor's face and read about him as a drum teacher, or my face and read about me as a piano teacher. And all of our staff are listed directly for public consumption right on the website, including a great frequently asked questions section where you can learn about our lessons and how they work and how taking lessons with us goes. And like Connor said, if you reach out, this person's going to be the one you're talking to. He's going to take great care of you here.
Okay, guys. Well, in closing, today our sponsors, Metro Wheels and Accessories. They're located in Marietta, Georgia. And we want to thank them for putting up the effort to help sponsor and keep the voice of the local business going. So thank you for being with us today. Take care.